What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today we have some 7-star rank for Gorr gameplay. So I wanted to record some Gorr gameplay because he is actually a really good candidate for the SP3 skip, because if you know Gorr's rotation is you basically just build up a bunch of those debuffs on the opponent and then you just launch a massive special 3 that is doing so much damage, bro. Like, it's ridiculous. You can see like the defender's gonna have like 70% health and then they're just gonna get deleted by one special 3. It's crazy. So fighting this Yelena, and as you can see, we're doing the trick here just to get her to 100 combo meter as quickly as possible so that we can just launch a special 3 and just delete her health pool. So we're just trying to stack some debuffs right now, and I think I'm gonna do like a knockdown very soon just so I can get it to 100 meter. I think I'm gonna go for a heavy attack now. Now I know this is not smart. You do not want to get the power gain when you're close to the special 3, but I did it so just I can push it to the 100 combo meter and then bait a special 2 and then just basically get her to the elimination phase and just destroy her. So just trying to bait that special right now. Full deck stat, and we're gonna finish this fight with 99% health fairly quickly too, I think. So that's boom, 60% 0, and that was a 377,000 HP, dude, or special attack in just 62 seconds, dude. That's actually very nice. Now there is one thing that Gorr doesn't have in his kit, and that's willpower. That's probably the number one thing that I wish Gorr had, because he likes it in some of those fights that I'll show you. But against Bullseye, it's a very interesting fight because Bullseye applies those instant bleeds on you, and whenever he does that, you just get a regen that can actually stack. And as you can see, we're kind of like healing pretty nicely. Now here I showcase this rotation. This is not a really safe rotation, but against some defenders you will be able to actually dex if you know, intentionally let them block your special 1 just so you can apply those debuffs. Because as you will see here, against Bullseye I was able to dex, but you can't really do that against all of those defenders because some of them just have quicker medium attacks. But against Bullseye it works, and I did it so I can just, you know, place 20 debuffs on him and then special and go for the heavy attack, and then the special 3 is just gonna delete him. So we basically just baited like one special 1 from Bullseye. That was it. So a 43-second takedown Bullseye. Crazy. We do lose some HP though, unfortunately, but hey, dude, the fact that you can just delete Bullseye like that is insane. Okay, we did showcase Yelena. Let's go for Nick Fury. So Nick Fury is a very not good fight for Gorr, because you basically just gotta kill him twice, so that means most likely 2 special 3s if you want to be fast. But yeah, we're gonna do that here. We're gonna go for the special 3 first, and then we're gonna have our buffs quickly build up 20 on him, and then we're just gonna probably throw the power gain with a heavy attack, get a power gain, and then just go for another special 3. But it's good here because if you just, you know, happen to get hit, you're gonna actually get some regen, so it's not that bad. Now we're gonna go for the relic here, push it to the special 2, and then we're just applying all of those debuffs right now. Also really good with inequity because you always have like debuffs on them, which is really nice. Oh, okay. And then yeah, special 3 here with 24 debuffs. Yeah, that's gonna be overkill in half. Yeah, crazy. We apply some debuffs through the block, which is also really nice. A bit of a defensive Gorr mechanic here. And then we just need to bait a heavy. You can get this power gain if the opponent has 20 or more debuffs, and it is going to get you to 3 bars of power no matter how much power you get. So that is it for Nick Fury. Not the fastest fight because you gotta like rebuild your debuffs, but it's not, it doesn't take too long, honestly. 69 seconds, 92% health. So this fight is not really safe for Gorr because there's a chance, you know, Sinister just throws you the SP1 into your block and yeah, just gets all those debuffs on you. But if you play carefully, not hit his block too much, don't do a lot of mediums, because here I did hit his block and I applied those debuffs. I shouldn't have done that. But yeah, basically just need to build up a little bit more of those debuffs, and then one special 3 is just gonna delete that Sinister as well. Concussion is not healing us, unfortunately, because again, no willpower is a bit unfortunate for Gorr. But as you will see here, we got over 13 debuffs right now. 13. I think we're gonna go for one more medium, and that is gonna do it. Yeah, I think he's dead actually here. Yeah. That's crazy, dude. 72% to 0. 356,000 damage, dude. That is like such a strong special 3 that just deletes anyone. There are not many defenders that survive the special 3 in this video. There are some that have like a lot of armor, like Sentinel you will see after a few more fights. But the good thing about Gorr is that if you don't use the power gain, all you need to do is just heavy attack after your special 3, and you're just gonna get to another special 3, throw it, and they're not gonna survive a second one, guaranteed. So with the SP3 skip, you can do that, and it's not gonna take too long. Now we fight this Jean Grey. Unfortunately, we can't heal from those exhaustions, so we're not gonna finish with a full yellow bar, but still gonna finish with pretty good HP. She has easy specials and decks. Just be careful with the reverse controls. And then basically one more medium ending combo into the relic, into another medium, and that should be it for Jean Grey. 70% health. Let's see if she dies. She dies. And that was a 47-second fight with 300,000. Dude, that special 3 hits so hard. Now moving on to the tech class. So this guy, I don't know if he was the first one to get Undermine, but he arguably has the easiest access Undermine, because you literally start the fight with it, and every time you get one of your buffs, which is, you know, you get it by either triggering an immunity, I think, or doing a full light ending combo, you just refresh that Undermine. So he's just so safe for those autoblock champions, which we're going to showcase a ton here. Peni is one of them. She's very, very annoying to fight. So you just, all you need to do is just have this Undermine. If it goes, you know, if it tries to expire or something by getting passive AI, just all you need to do is just do another full light ending combo, and that's it. And that is it for Peni Parker in 37 seconds. Yeah, moving on to the tech class, we're going to see some faster fights for sure. Now, actually, sorry, I think I jumped one defender here. And this is Infinity War Iron Man. This is a rank for Super Infinity War Iron Man, which actually is going to survive the special 3. Let me actually like skip it. But he's a really good counter for him, because if he gets to 4 armors, he auto blocks you. But if you get the Undermine, he is not going to do that. So essentially here, this guy is going to survive because he's going to trigger an armor here, a lucky armor up with the relic. And the special 3 is not going to hit as hard. But you will see that even after the special 3, he's not going to have like a lot of HP. And boom, he's gonna get taken down from the debuff. So even if he had a lot of HP though, all you need to do is just heavy attack and just SP3. That's it. That's it. He would have died even if he survived with like 40% HP. So that is Infinity War Iron Man. Moving on to Arcade, another very annoying defender. Sometimes not crazy, but sometimes he can definitely ruin your existence, unfortunately, if you know, tries to go for a lot of special 1s, or if you throw a special 2 and you forget to knock him down. But with Gorr, you don't really need to do anything. You just play normally, do your normal rotation, and you're always gonna have the Undermine. He's never gonna auto block you, and you will be safe. So one thing that I really like about Gorr is that if the opponent has like immunities, you apply degen instead. So that is really, really nice. You will see that, you know, against like Sentinel. But against this Arcade, we can apply all of our debuffs, so we get the normal ones. All you do is just one more medium into the special 3. And that is it for Arcade. Massive overkill right there. In, let's see, 42 seconds. Now I think moving on to Rascal here, this is another interesting matchup, because this guy is going to survive the special 3 as well. Because champions with a lot of like armor up or like physical resistance, they will survive special 3s. Because special 3s don't bypass any resistances. They don't crit, like, you know, maybe some special 2s. But we do have the autoblock counter, so we can just hit him after the special 1, which is very, very nice. You usually don't do that with most champions against this Rascal. You usually go for like heavy attacks, but with Gorr, you can just go for your normal rotation, which is perfect. Now we're going to start applying those debuffs with the mediums. There we go. Get some more of those. 4 per debuff, 6 per debuff, and then we're going to bait a special 1, do another medium, I think, and then a special 3. Well, I guess we're not going to bait at all, so we're just going to go for the special 3. He is going to survive this for sure. But those debuffs will just destroy him, man. Like, yeah, he's just melting. Even if he didn't die, we had another special 3 with that power gain. 51 seconds. Now, moving on to Mr. Sentinel. Probably the tankiest tech champion in the tech class, for sure. He's gonna enter the analysis very early on in this fight, because we're just constantly doing light ending attacks, or sorry, light attacks, so it's just the same attack. So he just got to the analysis very, very early on, but it doesn't really matter. Like, all of our damage comes from the special 3. We don't really care that he get the analysis. We don't want to crit or anything. But as you can see, we don't apply the 3rd debuff because he has a lot of immunities, but we do at least apply this degen and the shock. And you can still get a ton of debuffs, like it's so easy with Gorr. The special 3 does not do a lot of damage actually, only 121,000, but I will show you here that even if they survive, you just go for a heavy attack. And look at my special 3, dude. Literally get back to another special 3 like maybe like 5 seconds after the first one, 10 seconds. And that is it for Sentinel, 49 seconds. Special 3 skip is so good for Gorr, man. Very nice, especially for those occasions. Now moving on to Serpent. This is probably the worst fight in this video because he doesn't have willpower. If you don't have willpower against Serpent, you start to notice how much block damage he does. And yeah, actually Gorr is really good for Serpent in terms of like ignoring his crit resist or stopping his healing with your debuffs with despair for the from the death immunity. So he does cover like stuff like that, but he just doesn't do anything against his block damage, unfortunately. But as you will see, this Serpent is gonna get deleted after the special 3. He's gonna be at the death immunity instantly, and he's not gonna heal at all because of our debuffs. So he does have the damage for him. He does have the despair for his healing. He just doesn't counter the block damage, unfortunately. If he had willpower, I'm sure he would have finished this fight with like 85% health or something, which would have been pretty decent. But still, the fact that he can take him that easily, not bad. 54 seconds. Now, moving on to Deathless Thanos. This is actually one of my favorite fights in this video, and I kind of knew he'd be very, very nice for him. So Gorr kind of works like Shocker in this fight, where you kind of want to like build him up and then just kill him with one single shot. That is exactly what we're going to do here. We're going to build up our debuffs, and then one special 3, we're going to bypass all of his protections except the first one, which we're going to just get him down with, you know, our debuffs ticking as we build up. But he's basically going to go from like 70% to 0. So honestly, man, Gorr is kind of like a crazy good counter for Deathless Thanos, I'm not going to lie. Very, very nice. Because you just ignore all of his protections, so he's not a big staller for you. Unfortunately, you still have to do like a lot of hits, so you have to like play a little slow because of his unstoppable. But basically here he has like, let's see, 64% health, and now he's dead. He's literally dead. So 97% health finish, and I think that was like 55 seconds or so. Yeah, 55 seconds. That's honestly did pretty good for someone that's not a mystic against Deathless Thanos. Moving on to Medusa, a very simple defender, yet if you don't have a counter, she is going to destroy you. But Gorr is like insane for her because Undermine, she's gonna auto block, but nothing's gonna happen. She's just gonna lose her own furies. Yeah, so that's perfect. This is like a really fast fight as well because we get like an aggressive AI. Quick animations, and can just go for the special 3 very, very fast. Build up those debuffs. As you can see, she is poison immune, but instead of the poison, we apply this degen, which I really, really like. And then that is it for Medusa. So 99% health finish in, I think, 35 seconds, was it? 36 seconds. Yeah, that's like one of the fastest fights in this video. Now, moving on to the science class. This is the last class right here. The good thing about fighting Photon with Gorr is that you don't have willpower anyway, so she can't really hurt you more. Actually, Gorr kind of decent for this fight because, yeah, you just instantly delete her. You don't have to wait about pure life forms and all that stuff. Like, you just end the fight quick. We are going to take a bit of block damage here, but you will notice that I'm doing only mediums, so she can't really stack a lot of debuffs on me. And as you can see, we're going to block this special 1 with only like 3 debuffs on us, and that doesn't do a lot, you know? Especially with like inequity as well, kind of reducing her attack. Because, you know, if you start throwing a lot of light attacks against Photon, she starts to stack the energy vulnerability on you, and that's how you take a lot of damage. But with the mediums, you don't really do that. Because, yeah, we started with a lot of light attacks at the beginning, but we didn't have any problems there with the pure light form. So, kind of legit counter to Photon there, 49 seconds. Just destroyed her, man. Even with inequity there, I feel like he would still have enough damage to kill her. Now, this is a defense that I don't really show, because she's kind of like rare, but she's a bit of an annoying defender, you know? And with most champions, you want to have like a grit passive, or you want to have the slow for her. Gorr just has pure damage. Like, he's not going to throw a single special except the special 3, so you're not really going to care about the unstoppable that she gets, the unblockable. You're just going to destroy her for one special 3. Like, it's this crazy, dude. I feel like Gorr is kind of underrated. Like, he is a little bit of an annoying defender if you don't have like a good counter like M.O.D.O.K or a way to nullify. He's very easily counterable because he doesn't have like any immunities for like nullify or fate seal. But if he catches you without a counter, he might just deal some chip damage to you. 37 seconds. Because yeah, his debuffs will apply through block. They do take a lot, and he definitely could catch you. Now this is a very interesting fight here. I wasn't sure if this is gonna work, because against Think, you know, he jerks protection, and I thought the special 3 wasn't gonna deal a lot of damage, but if he doesn't have the protection up before you trigger the special 3, you're actually gonna deal, you know, normal damage, and then he's gonna have the protection afterwards. Also, Gorr is a little tricky in this fight because you just bleed this dude, and you don't really know when it's gonna happen, so sometimes he might mess you up, but he's pretty consistent with the bleed, so that it's not really gonna mess you up that much, unless you're not being careful. But as you will see here, 19 debuff special 3 is gonna deal a lot of damage, but it's not gonna kill Thing, of course. And as you can see, the protection is there. We're still bleeding him, so he doesn't really go for the 15 rock stacks. We go for the heavy attack here, and then one more special 3. Thing is dead, bro. Like, no ability accuracy reduction or anything against this Thing fight. It was still very quick. 53 seconds with 2 special 3s, man. And we finished with 98% health. Now, this is probably like one of the most useful ways you can use Gorr in the current meta that we have, because M.O.D.O.K is a bit of an annoying defender, especially if he is stun immune. If he is stun immune, he's a really annoying one. He's a nightmare. You need to like heavy counter him, or you can have the undermine that Gorr has. You're never gonna see an auto block for M.O.D.O.K when you're using Gorr, because this undermine is so OP. And I think it's probably one of the best uses for Gorr, because there's not a lot of counters for M.O.D.O.K if you think about it. But this guy is just, he's just dead. I think he's gonna survive. Yeah, 293,000, he has a lot of HP, but he just dies from that. And as you can see, arguably one of the best counters for M.O.D.O.K right there. Maybe he's like the second best after maybe like Cold Obsidian, but like that's crazy quick, dude. 38 seconds. And then I wish I could showcase a normal 7-star rank for High Evolutionary, but we just don't have him at the CCP. But he is actually a very legit counter to High Evolutionary. High Evolutionary, dude, you would think he's easy, but he's so annoying. But if you have this undermine, you are chilling. As you saw at the beginning, we just countered the initial auto block, and if you build up by then, you can just L3 him like a normal High Evolutionary, and you will be fine. He will like nullify it. I think he nullified it like at the beginning, but it's only like after we triggered it, after we triggered like the cooldown. As you will see, here we go. The auto block triggers, but then it's, you know, it's on cooldown, and then once he starts placing those debuffs on us, the undermine is removed, as you will see here. But by then we removed his auto block, so as you can see, we can still do our lightning combos right there. We can just do whatever attacks we want, so he's kind of like a really good counter for High Evolutionary. You still have to worry about it a little bit, you know, after he triggers the auto block again, but he's pretty good for him. Definitely not the best counter, but I can see people use him and get good results with him. But yeah, man, overall Gorr is kind of a underrated champion, even by me too. Like, I didn't think he would be that good for some of those fights, especially like the M.O.D.O.K fight, maybe like the Photon fight, Thing, Sentinel. Like, he just deletes people with his special 3. But yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think about Gorr. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.